Good morning and welcome to the news at 10 on NTA News 24. We are broadcasting on the network service of the NTA. I am Norlin Ebel Ame. First, the headlines. Secessionist agitations, Southeast leaders denounce involvement of zone. Monarch calls for involvement of traditional institution in uniting Nigerians. Abducted students and teacher of Federal Government College, Birni Yauri, rescued. Leaders in ECOWAS challenged on bolder strategies for a truly integrated sub-region. Let's begin the news with security. Nigerian Army troops of Sector 2 Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadin-Kai in conjunction with Air Task Force on Sunday, 20th of June 2021, eliminated over 20 Boko Haram and Islamic State West Africa Province ISWAP terrorist group. The terrorists were camping around Watek in the general area of Lambua Forest in Borno State. Director Army Public Relations Brigadier General Onyema Nwachukwu says, acting on credible intelligence, troops with close air support from the Nigerian Air Task Force component swiftly carried out a simultaneous land and air offensive, penetrating deep into Lambua Forest in Borno State. Several arms were captured while others destroyed. Leaders of the Southeast Zone have dissociated the region from the secessionist agitations in the zone, reaffirmed their commitment to the unity of the country, and condemned the destruction of critical public infrastructure in the region and other places. This was the outcome of a strategic meeting by the governors and leaders of the zone in Enugu to articulate the stand and demands of the Southeast for presentation to the President. Susan Eze has details.
Southeast leaders who totally denounced every secessionist movement and groups in the region maintained that leaders of the zone have been vocal about their commitment to a united Nigeria, anchored on justice, equity and fairness.
We condemn in totality the activities of violent secessionist groups in Southeast and elsewhere. We firmly proclaim that we do not support them. They do not speak for Southeast. The impression that Southeast leaders are silent over some of our youth agitation for secession is not correct. Southeast governors, Ohanese President, and her leadership, National Assembly members and her leadership from Southeast, notable leaders from Southeast, had come out publicly many times in the past, including ministers from Southeast, to speak against such agitations. In order not to mismanage the unfortunate situation we found ourselves, Southeast leaders have set up a committee to engage such youths to stop and allow the elders of Southeast to address their fears. Number 8, meeting directed our governors and Ohanese Ndibo to liaise with indigenes from northern part of Nigeria and other indigenes of other regions that are living in Southeast to come out openly and to assure their people and of course the nation Nigeria that they are very safe and well protected while living in Southeast.
In the 9-point communiqué read by the chairman of the Southeast Governors Forum and Governor of Ebonyi State, David Umahi, the leaders condemned the killing of security agents and civilians and the burning of public infrastructure, and requested that security agents discharge their duties within the rules of engagement and the law. The leaders promised to protect everyone living in the region, irrespective of their origin, and urged leaders in other zones to do the same.
we the Igbos do reaffirm our commitment to one united Nigeria under a platform of justice, equality of rights, fairness, love, and respect for one another. We have noted threats by some groups in some other regions against our people of Southeast, while we firmly promise to protect everyone either from our own region or other regions living in our places. We plead with the leaders of other regions to please note the threats to our people and to please address the threats to our people and to protect them. We request our National Assembly members from Southeast to please support state police creation in the ongoing constitutional amendments.
The meeting set up committees that will hold further engagements and produce the document that will represent the decisions of the zone. In Enugu, Susan Eze, NTA News.
The expediency for Nigerians to consider the peace and unity of the country as a patriotic project that requires nurturing irrespective of religious or tribal differences have been reiterated. Senior Special Advisor to the President on Niger Delta Affairs, Senator Itai Enang, at a national dialogue to sensitize citizens towards national unity and security in Nigeria in Akwa Ibom State, stated this as an advice. Kelvin Samuel reports.
Of recent, there have been voices of some national leaders breathing out inciting words against other ethnic and religious groups, which has resulted to the taking of arms by the youth. This situation necessitated the one-day national dialogue organized by the Office of the Senior Special Advisor to the President on Niger Delta Affairs in partnership with civil liberties organizations as a platform to enable stakeholders bear their minds on various issues affecting the nation.
I would say that this dialogue is apt and it is coming at the right time. In olden days, if you want to join military or police, you will go to the paramount ruler. They will check whether you are from the lineage of stealing, and he will give his letter, his confirmation, before they will take you. But today, it's not like that. The problems of mistrust among the ethnic groups of this wonderful country, Nigeria, more especially the major groups.
The organizers insist that the problems confronting the nation can be solved amicably through dialogue, while calling on the youth to put down the arms and give peace a chance.
Every 4, 5, 6 years, whether you have, it doesn't need to be in the constitution, whether you call it referendum by whatever, let the people sit, talk, drink tea, and understand themselves.
When thoroughly appraised, no other date fits the bill as Democracy Day than June 12th.
The one-day national dialogue, which has as its theme democracy, security, and unity of Nigeria, ended with a refreshed hope and faith towards the unity of the nation. In Uyo, Kelvin Samuel, NTA News.
The Olui of Iyi Ekiti, Oba Adeni Ajakaye, has called on the federal government to take advantage of the traditional institution in strengthening the unity of the country. The monarch said this in the palace of the Oni of Ife in Ile-Ife. Adejoke Oluyemi's report is presented from the studio.
The newly installed Olunyi of Iyi-Ekiti in Ekiti State, Oba Adeniyi Ajakaye, led chiefs and other prominent sons and daughters of the town to the palace of Oni of Ife to familiarize himself with the ancient town of Ile-Ife.
Ile-Ife is our source, so I just came around to say thank you to Baba for his support and assistance.
Oni of Ife, Obadeye Yogunwusi, who described Olunyi of Iyi-Ekiti as one of the outstanding sons of Oduduwa, advised the monarch to use his position for the unity and peace of Yoruba land. Obagunwusi also prayed for peaceful tenure and long reign of the Olunyi of Inyekiti, Obadeniyi Ajakaye.
Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu of Kebbi State has declared an incisive onslaught against bandits in the state using the invincible Ntauri and local hunter groups to support the security agencies in the rescue operation of the FGC abducted students. Usman Abdullahi Shehu reports that the governor made the declaration while receiving the groups in Birnin Kebbi.
Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, together with his counterparts, the Ekiti State Governor and the Chairman Nigeria Governors Forum, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, and the Jigawa State Governor Muhammadu Badaru Abubakar, who were in the state capital to sympathize with the government and the people of the state over the FGC Birnin Yawuri student abduction, received the local hunters and Ntauri group in their hundreds, who informed the governor of their resolve to join in the search and rescue operation of the remaining abducted students.
The security agents, we are ready to cooperate with them by all means.
As a chief security officer of the state, Governor Bagudu emotionally expressed readiness to lead the onslaught of the criminals to rescue the remaining abducted students.
We will go out there, and like I promise you, on the day we move out, I will not be in the office. I will join you in the field. It's not weapon that win war. It's the will that bad people cannot triumph. Go back to your communities and mobilize, because I will get clearance from security and we'll meet them on the field.
And inshallah, we shall defeat them. The bandits shall be annihilated. Our children will be recovered.
The governor also acknowledged the effort and commitment of the security agencies to rescue the remaining students. Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
Gambo Gad is among the final year students of FGC Birnin Yawuri who escaped death by the whiskers. He is currently recuperating from the gunshot he got on his buttocks as a result of bandits' attack at his school. Shehu Muhammad Datti was in NASCO and has the situation report.
This is the family home of Gambo Gad, SS3 student of Federal Government College, Birnin Yawuri, who narrowly escaped death, but though got a gunshot through his buttocks due to the attack of bandits on that fateful day. He, however, been taken to the hospital for first aid treatment, and he's now gradually recuperating.
Actually, they are shooting because if to say the door is not that kind, new and strong, they could have opened the door. But they shoot, the door did not open. And some of primary students were beside the door, and then they are shooting the door. And then one went to pick up the student and bring them to their mothers, because we are together with their mothers. And then I now keep them to just find a place and sit, or I just push them like this, and now here, I had a gunshot, my buttocks, and I fell down.
Gambo did not realize he could not walk until he found himself down, with blood gushing out of him. After a while, he was able to walk out of the exam hall.
Take me to hospital. The hospital accepted with the emergency situation. As they carry us in, they do a certain treatment, and I was okay that time.
Inspector Yakubu Atachu, NASCO Division of the Nigerian Police, is the father of Gambo, who expressed shock while appreciating the Kebbi State government and the school management. Inspector Yakubu appealed for help to take care of his son's medication.
Because what happened in the Birnin Yawuri, is very, very terrible. Because my son, when he have came, or when I meet him in the sickbed, he's telling me what happened. I'm very, very surprised. He said he have tried to see that he escaped some, primary school children. That's why he had a gunshot. He already have hide himself. But when he saw them, they are, crying, he just pity for them. But he rushed after he took them, to one corner before you have, escape. He had a gunshot on his bottom.
This boy, he tried to see me. That children, the way he once saved them, some of them, he they are alive. So I give thanks to God. But now, I dey pray. Some of them, the way they for these people handing, I dey pray for God, let them to receive these people in the name of Jesus. That's my own prayer now.
Being a final year student of the Federal Government College Benin Yaouri, the only wish and hope of Gambo is to be physically fit so that he can write his final examination and the JAM which he's supposed to be writing at the moment.
We wish him a quick recovery of the Sheikh Muhammad Dati. The News at 10 is reaching you on the network service of the NTA through NTA News 24. Still ahead. NDLEA naps law enforcement officer, 6 others for dealing in cocaine. Shortly. Thank you for staying with us on the News at 10 on NTA News 24. And still on security, Governor Samuel Otom has disclosed that 14 militiamen who are alleged accomplices of late Ghana have been shot dead Saturday in Katsina. Charles Saba reports.
The governor stated that 20 of the gunmen attempted to release some of their gang members in detention at a police station in Katsina local government area on Sunday morning. He explained that during a gun duel with policemen, 14 out of the bandits were fatally wounded and the rest escaped with bullet wounds.
Some of them one of the men was bought. And this included some of the people they went there to flee because as they were running, they were also caught in the fire. So that is good news. For a very long time I have not had this kind of good news. I say, well, I give you anything.
The governor, who appreciated the security agencies for their efforts, urged Benue people not to relent in cooperating with security operatives in divulging useful information to enable them to effectively fight criminality in the state. In Makudi, Charles Abba, NTA News.
Away from security, let's talk business now. Stakeholders in textile and garment industry call for renewed onslaught against smuggling. Let's join Kunle Ade for details.
The federal government, through the Central Bank of Nigeria, has committed a lot of resources to the revival of the textile industry in Nigeria. The Apex Bank has at different fora introduced policies that will speed up the renaissance of the sector. This the Nigerian Textile Manufacturers Association admits, but wants more commitment from the agencies of government involved in the implementation of policies.
This present government of President Buhari has been textile friendly to a large extent. The CBN governor, Emefiele, has done a lot to support the government, the textile industry. We can reduce smuggling by as much as 20–30%. Capacity utilization in the industry will go up. Where a fabric made in Nigeria is going for about 3,000, 4,000 plus, you have the smuggled ones from Asia, China, going for 700, 1,000. So how can you compete? So we need policy directed at this. And the smuggled ones are inferior. They are mainly polyester, which is not good for the skin.
They also crave for more investment by private individuals. With business news, I'm Kunle Ade.
Member nations of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, have been tasked to take bolder steps towards achieving a truly integrated sub-region that is economically, politically and socio-culturally united, as well as secure for sustainable growth and development. President Muhammadu Buhari threw the challenge at the 59th Ordinary Session of the Authority of Heads of States and Government of the organization in Accra, Ghana. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has details.
The ECOWAS Leaders Summit was convened to review a number of important reports dealing with various issues of concern to member states and take realistic and practical decisions that will positively impact their citizens. Amongst them, the ECOWAS single currency program, institutional reforms, as well as the evolving political and security situation in the sub-region.
The world continues to value the work of our organization, which is held up as a model of regional engagement on the continent, and we must continue to do whatever is required to strengthen it and help realize its objectives.
Together, let us give the region a well-financed security architecture that will secure the lives of people and enhance the attractiveness of the region as a prime investment destination. Let us plant the flag of ECOWAS on a higher mountain. Let's rise higher.
President Muhammadu Buhari, who addressed the meeting during a closed session, noted with concern the recent decision by the UN to expel all foreign fighters in Libya without disarming them. This, he said, has created newer threats to peace, security and stability in the region. Hence the urgent need to review the UN sub-regional organization's partnerships towards addressing the dangers the resolution poses to the region. The president also touched on the prevailing situation in Mali, describing it as a sad reminder that vigilance remains a crucial imperative to protect people's aspirations to freely choose the form of government they want. He said pressures are needed to ensure that the transition process in Mali, now halfway to its conclusion, is not aborted, warning that a further slide in that country could prove catastrophic to the sub-region. The Nigerian leader, who is also the ECOWAS champion on the fight against COVID-19, told the summit that as member states mobilize to get more people vaccinated, there is need to engage better and pool resources together towards developing local vaccines for the pandemic as well as contain future health challenges. President Muhammadu Buhari warned that with the low levels of vaccination, there is a very strong possibility that the West African sub-region may experience a third wave of the COVID-19 pandemic, similar to what obtains in other parts of the world. From Accra, Ghana, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Nigeria and the Republic of Benin have resolved to collaborate more effectively towards ensuring that all irritants in the relationship between the two countries are addressed in the interests of their people and economies. This was when President Muhammadu Buhari granted audience to his counterpart from Benin, President Patrice Talon, on the sidelines of the ECOWAS Leaders Summit in Accra, Ghana. Again, State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has details.
The high-level engagement between President Muhammadu Buhari and the Beninese leader Patrice Talon is in furtherance of efforts at deepening and expanding the relations between Nigeria and Benin Republic. The relations between the two countries was recently dampened following the partial closure of Nigeria's land borders due to security concerns. The two leaders are now determined to ensure that such unhealthy relations are never experienced between the two countries and therefore resolve to address once and for all issues relating to security, illicit transfer of small arms and light weapons, as well as smuggling of food items, especially rice.
They really want to take measures to ensure that there are never ever again any irritants in the relationship between the two countries. So the process is almost done, but they want it to be done while they are both still in office, and they believe that this will be a real achievement. And notwithstanding those who might not want the relationship between the two countries to be good, that if they take all these definitive steps, that it will be irreversible, and that nothing will again affect the good relations and neighborliness of the two countries.
Both President Muhammadu Buhari and Patrice Talon of the Republic of Benin noted with satisfaction the ongoing talks between Rice Producers Association of Nigeria and Benin Republic with the objectives of not only sharing knowledge on rice production but also achieving a definitive ban on the import of parboiled rice into Benin and any kind of rice at all into Nigeria. President Buhari wants this cooperation be institutionalized.
And he sort of charged us to quickly prepare all the MOUs and then arrange to come and brief the two presidents and for them to now validate this and institutionalize this. And he also welcomed the cooperation between the rice producers of the two countries and will, and gives it his blessing and will help to push it to the final conclusion where they will now sign an MOU between the two rice producers.
During the high-level engagement, President Patrice Talon solicited Nigeria's support for candidates of Benin Republic vying elective positions in ECOWAS. From Accra, Ghana, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
In other news back home, a serving officer of a law enforcement agency has been arrested for selling assorted illicit drugs to students of a federal university and cultists in Ogun State. In a statement by the Director Media and Advocacy of the NDLEA, Femi Babafemi, the drug dealer who serves in the Lagos State Command of the security agency was arrested on 15th June 2021 after days of surveillance on his wife's shop, which he uses as his sales point in camp area of Abeokuta. He was arrested alongside his salesman with different illicit substances to include 6 pinches of Colorado weighing 1.17 grams, 17 bottles of codeine, 22.26 grams of cannabis, 230.98 grams of tramadol, and 61 tablets of flunitrazepam and 6 drops of minus 43.92 grams, among others. Meanwhile, a Nigerian returning from abroad was arrested at the Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos, with 5 pellets of heroin weighing 250 grams inserted in his anus upon arrival at the de-arrival hall of the airport on 14th June via Turkish airline flight from Pakistan. Other arrests were 5 suspects with 77.23 kg of cannabis sativa, 211.500 kg of skunk, and 15.3 grams of cocaine, while commanding the Oyo, Kaduna, and the Murtala Muhammad International Airport commands of the NDLEA for sustaining the offensive action against illicit drugs trafficking. General Buba Marwa warned that NDLEA will not spare any law enforcement agent hiding under the privilege of his uniform to engage in narcotic criminal business. You're still on to the news at 10 on NTA News 24. We'll pause here for a break. Stay with us.